I guess. So adjusting this thing, you've got 6 potentiometers on here. You've got low, mid, and high ranges, which is these right here, 1, 2, 3. And then you've got low, mid, and high range LEDs. Now, the instructions say it's red, yellow, and green. Well, mine does green, yellow, and red. And I've seen some backward stuff there. So my lights are actually backwards from what the instruction says, but that's a little strange. And then number 3 here on this one, which I would call 4, is going to be the low to mid range. And then 4, which I would call 5, is the mid to high range. And then number 5 here, which is 6, is going to be the accelerator pump. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in the description, I'll list them out as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But just know 1 is all of those, 2 of the lights, 3 low to mid, mid to high, and then your accelerator pump. So you can adjust how much actual fuel actually flows out of this thing. So this is all your different fuel settings. And you've got from -10, number 1 would be 0 on the potentiometer, and then its percentages up from there. And I'll list that out in the description. 3 is your RPM level, 4 is another RPM level, and then 5 is, like I said, the accelerator pump. So this is where mine are set up currently. So on number 1 here, which is your lowest setting, I've got it just here right about normal, right? So this is -10, this is normal, and then this would be +10, I believe, or +5, and I'll mark all that out on there. This one I've got set up a pretty good bit higher. So this would be all the way 0, and I've got it up here around 4.5 or so. This one over here I've got up right at 5, and that's your highest RPM level as it kicks over. Now that's only 45 to 55 on a stock bike, which is pretty high up there. And then both of my RPM ranges I have set as low as possible, so it'll kick into those on a lower setting because I don't want to run too high up. And then I've got my potentiometer for the 6th one set up at, I think, like 40 or 50% of the fuel that's kicking in there. It's going to kick that much more when you twist the throttle or under high torque or anything like that. So another thing we did was went ahead and put on this fairing. This is the Burly style fairing. This is the sport touring one. It's just like those. Painted it red, doesn't match exactly. I actually bought Harley Firefighter Red because it's the Firefighter Edition, and it didn't seem to match perfectly either, but it looks okay for now. I'll do something about it later on. But it all went on pretty good. It wasn't too bad. Gives me a good place to hide all my wires. And then we're gonna make another dash to fit a speedo and everything in there. So I went ahead and did, these are 2-inch tank risers. So it brought it up a little bit, but I mainly wanted to kick the tank forward. So you see down here, I had to make this other little plate. This is where it would normally bolt. So it's moved forward a little over an inch. Not a full 2 because it gets kicked up some, but it opens up the engine a little ways. Gives a little more, I don't know, chopper style. Looks a little bit different than normal. Now this nose on this seat is the short one, so there's actually a gap there. With the longer nose seat that would normally go to here, it would just come down to there. So I may end up changing the seats around, doing some stuff. But that's pretty much it on that. I can kind of show you how the bike reacts. Alright guys, so I got it set up now. You see that the green on mine is the lower setting. As soon as I come up off of idle, then it will automatically switch over to orange, which is your mid-level, and it doesn't hit the high until you get up real high RPM. Like that. And it'll come right back down to idle. Back to the green setting. that's just how I've got mine set up. So the lowest setting is down right at idle, and everything else picks up from there. Seems to work well on this bike, gives me a good idle. If not, the idle revs up pretty high. So you just kind of got to play with them and see. But like I said, check out the description, and I'll kind of list it out a little bit better in there about how everything works. But that's pretty much it on this. I think it's going to work. So the last thing to do is to put the little cap back on here. So get that back on there, should be good. Alright guys, make sure you check out the website. We've added thousands and thousands of awesome motorcycle parts. We've got apparel on there. We've got extended front forks, fenders, frames, anything you can think of. Check it out.